Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Overthinking can hurt your chances with women. Overthinking can hurt your chances with women. Let me start with a story. I remember it was like years ago. It was back in the 90s. And I remember four straight women told me I think too much. Now, at the time, I was highly insulted. I was like, y'all don't want a thinking man. Y'all don't want an intelligent man. But years later, wait a minute. All right, just real quick. They were doing, this jazz in the background is playing over a cable network, and they were running some type of emergency broadcasting system test. It happens. I said, no, I can't hear that. I'm trying to say some stuff. Y'all hear it. This is just a test. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I was there. It was years later that I really understood what the women meant, because seriously, I thought y'all don't want an intelligent man and all of that. And well, all of them didn't quite reject me though. So I put it like that. So I was just like, whatever. They still got, a couple of them still got with me. Couple of them, but still, whatever the case. But here's the thing. Years later, I understood what they meant. They meant I was overthinking a simple situation. See, I understand something with women. They really ain't that deep. They ain't not that deep. And I'm going to tell you what, with a significant portion of men mess up with women because they thinking about the situation too much. Let me give you an example. One of my mentors gave me one time. He said, okay, you got to say you on a bus with a woman. And you on a bus, there's a woman sitting across from you or close to you or something. And she's working on something. She's writing something. But her pen runs out. Her ink pen runs out. So she'll look over you and she say, well, excuse me, do you have an ink pen I can borrow? Now, the one who's a man's thinking too much, be thinking about his rap and everything and what can he do? Okay, how can I get that phone number and all of that stuff, right? And basically come up with what line can I hit her with? And then, just basically mess up the situation. Because even if she ain't really thinking that way, it is an opening, right? So you're thinking too much. That's the overthinker. Meanwhile, the other guy who's not thinking about it, just going with the flow, be like, hey, sure, here you go. Right? Now, here's the thing. The guy who was thinking too much, he probably blows an opportunity because he's up here thinking and stuff instead of reaching, and then all of a sudden somebody else could cut in and hand her an ink pen. So I have one, man. You waiting too long. You thinking about it too long, trying to think about what you're going to do. Meanwhile, the guy who just hands her the pen, he hands her the pen, she uses it, she hands it back, and, he got an opening. He could say, that must have been something important you had to work on. She started talking and something like that all of a sudden. They go getting some coffee or something afterwards. Or it's just like, can I talk to you later or something? And trust me, that works. Trust me, that works. Especially back during that time. I used to meet a lot of women on public transportation just chilling. So that was an opening because they were thinking too much. See, I'm going to tell you what the issue is. A lot of guys, they try to think every single move instead of just flowing with it. Sometimes you just got to flow with it. This ain't saying you can't think about other things in life and stuff, but sometimes just flow with the situation. Just go with it. Just go with it. Like in that situation with the bus, the gentleman who just handed her a pen without really thinking about it, that was the opening. Because then she's looking at him and like, oh, this guy helped me out when I really needed it. Something like that. She might have handed him a card, say, hey, let me take you out to, she'll be like, let me take you out to lunch or something, just because he went with the flow. The other guy done blew it. And see, the thing is, a lot of guys, they overthinking what happened. And even when they see a woman, whether you in the choosing signal camp or the approach camp, sometimes if you're sitting there thinking about it too much, you mess it up, because this is what happens. When men who usually think about it too much, they also really think about why this woman wouldn't want them. Not even so much just how to approach her, but why she wouldn't want them. They'll see a beautiful woman and think, well, she wouldn't want me. I'm not that tall. She wouldn't want me. I'm slightly overweight. She wouldn't want me because I don't have a square jaw. The guy be sitting there thinking all this stuff, when really they don't know. And then by the time they thinking, all of the women done passed by. Here's something, I'm going to tell you something I've seen in life. You don't know, even a very beautiful woman, you really don't know until you try something. You so busy thinking you don't know what her reaction will be. She might reject you, but not for the reasons you think. That's one thing. See, some guys will think, nah, she just wants some tall dude. You don't know that. You thinking too much. You don't know what you want till you approach her. You know what you, like, say it's a situation. Say somebody ain't thinking too much. And, you know, he approaches her, they get together and everything. And, you know, some of his friends is like, well, how you get her? You ain't that tall. How you get her? You know, you got a round face. How'd you get her? It was like, I just did my thing. But see, here's the thing, because he didn't know her. He didn't know that her imprint looked just like him. He didn't know that the males in her family looked just like him. He didn't know that that's just her type, period. You don't know until you say something. I'm going to tell you something now. A lot of, especially with beautiful women, you don't know how receptive that woman is going to be until you actually say something. You can't assume anything. Keep in mind, no matter how beautiful the woman is, you don't know anything about it. She could be a jock. You might be a jock or something, and she said, you know, y'all start talking, and she'd be like, well, yeah, you know, I played lacrosse. I like you to run and all of that. And you're like, oh, yeah, I do all that too. You don't know. Or you might have a conversation with her, and y'all talking and somehow, like, you might have had a shirt on that talks about a certain type of music. That's her favorite music. And you might, and even for guys, they think, well, they don't like this. They don't like classical music. I've dated some women who like classical music, even played classical music. You don't know what her interests are. But you're thinking too much. You're making assumptions. See, when somebody starts thinking too much, they making assumptions. No, you can't. Sometimes you just got to go for it. You just got to go for it. Don't make anything until you know, even if you're trying to read her. You know? Now, you can get, if you're really good at reading her, you can get a general idea. But even then, you don't know what her reaction will be. You do not know it. And especially with beautiful women, because that's usually where guys be thinking too much, be all nervous and stuff. It's like, you don't know what she wants. Because look, I'm going to just be real with you. And this ain't just my personal experience. This is coming from knowing the women themselves. You'd be surprised who they get with. And it's always based on their interests. Always based on their interests when you get surprised. Like, yeah, of course, they like a good-looking guy, handsome guy, but you don't know what they consider handsome. You really don't know what type of body they like. You don't know that. Yes, they checking out a body, but, you know, some women like stocky, some women like slim. So, but you ain't gonna know that she might like your particular body until you approach. And like I said, of course, you know, there's a chance she could reject you. Yeah, well, that's part of life. That's part of life. You just learn from the rejection and keep it moving. But, you know, just whatever you do, don't think about it too much. Especially with women are not that difficult. They really ain't. They ain't that complicated. They try to act like it. And usually, I'm gonna give y'all some game on that. If a woman try to act like she all complicated, you got to do all this, she ain't feeling you. She's thinking about ways to divest you because women know, especially the ones trying to get who work to get money out of you. They know the harder they play, harder to get they play, the more money a lick will spend on them. So when a woman's doing that, boom. But when they like a guy, please, all you have to do is look at him and smile sometimes. Say hi and just to be able to have a normal conversation. They not that deep, but some guys think they are. Stop thinking too much, okay, when you're dealing with women. You know, sometimes you got some women out there, just as long as you got a good shine pair of shoes, that might be all you need. And I'm serious. I am dead serious. I'm going to tell you something with women, just basically, just for people who want to overthink. They will like a guy on some small shit. They might just like his teeth. He might have a good fresh haircut that day. They might or might not like his height. Shoot. He could be a short-statured dude, and they might like that he's walking around confidently. You don't know. But you're not going to know if you sitting there thinking and you like talking yourself out of getting her. Just make the move. Boom. That's it. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.